Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, portfolio manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Friday, February 7th, 4:36 p.m., coming to you from Fort Lauderdale with tonight's and this week's last daily market insight video. State of the market, still an uptrend. Market leaders we have at neutral with a green sub arrow. Uh, 21 over 21 list continues to act well. Short term, still above the key 21 EMA on the major indexes, so still have a green arrow there. Still have a green arrow on the medium 50-day SMA, although small caps are below now, and still the long-term green arrow as all major indexes are above the 200-day simple moving average. What happened today? Poor consumer sentiment and tariff uncertainty, as well as inflation expectations, led to another Friday reversal. Just like last Friday, 21 over 21 list, the only thing green today, up 0.2%, 8 up, 13 down. Big 8 down 1.69%, RG8 down 0.45%, S&P down 0.95%, equal-weighted down 0.49%, QQQ down 1.26%, QQEW down 0.85%, Dow Jones down 0.99%, mid caps down 1.26%, small caps down 1.19%, global 60/40 equities bonds down 0.57%, and GROTECTION down 0.77%. It's always starting off with the S&P 500. Bearish engulfing today. Not quite distribution day though, so that's good to see. Still holding the 21 EMA. Let's talk about the 5 minute. We opened up strong, even broke above 6,100, and we got hit with poor consumer sentiment data right here. That came in much weaker than expected, 67.8 versus 71.3. Pretty much just trended all the way down to around lunchtime. And after that, we started rallying a little bit in the afternoon, and that got hit with Trump tariff uncertainties. So another one of those green to red days. And it's just how it is in this volatility as we base in this range right here, which is a pretty big range. Equal weighted, yeah, continue to leak off below the 821 and 50, so that's not the greatest sign. QQQ, another bearish reversal distribution day, as you can see here. Last Friday was another distribution day. The rally 3 days up in the middle of this week saw contracting volume. So that's not the greatest sign, but on the flip side, we're still holding 21 EMA. There's clearly a range being built here. And we just really need buyers to take this out to the upside. And that'll definitely be a good picture for the markets. QQEW, actually stronger than the market cap weighted Qs, rejecting the left side peak, looking to build a handle here. Dow Jones continues to form a handle here. Nothing too wrong about this, although we do have a couple days of elevated volume, so that is something to look out for. But we're still saw a shakeout on Monday, and we're still holding the 21 EMA, building this handle under 45,000. Mid caps weaker as rates and dollar rise back below 821 and 50. This key low needs to hold right there. Russell back below 821 and 50 as well after rejecting the declining 50-day. That is a key low as well. VIX, good thing is the VIX did not spike too much, even though it was up 7.5% today, trading at 16.5. So not too much to worry about here. Potential Monday volatility, but every time we've seen the VIX spike above 20, it's gotten suppressed so far. Dollar reclaims the 50 and the 8, still below the 21 EMA. Dollar has seen some volatility the last week or so, but continues to hold in there. Don't want to see the dollar continue to rally too far, but with more Trump tariff uncertainties, that is strong for the dollar as tariffs are quite nationalistic and isolationist. Gold continues to flow higher, did reverse today, but great action in gold. Miners, pretty much same thing, reversal today, but still really strong in the last few weeks. Bitcoin, we'll go to this chart, continues to base in this massive, pretty much like 3-4 month base, trading at the lows and support area at the 100-day moving average, and it's 95,000 level. So this needs to hold. The 50-day starting to turn down and the 10 and 20. So that's not the greatest sign, but we're just still in the range. And this could be the lows of the range before we try to rally higher. So that's that with Bitcoin. In terms of the bond market, final part of inter-asset correlation, yields have fallen the last couple weeks, but the short end of the curve started rising again, and then the long end bounced as well. With Trump talking about tariffs once again. But the good thing is that Doge and Trump is very serious about balancing the budget, so we'll see if they can accomplish that in the next 4 years. It'll be critical for the health and wellness of the United States of America. And so far, the bond market's starting to agree with the 10-year retreating from nearly 4.8% down to 4.5%. Balancing the budget, cutting our debt, reducing our deficit is beneficiary is a beneficiary for all American families because it lowers our interest rates on credit cards, mortgage payments, and car payments. So um, let's see if they can get it done. So that's it from the inter-asset correlation. I'm going to bring up the tail of the tape now. Let me just bring this back to the S&P 500. Tail of the tape, there's a few things to go over today. Um, Starting off, yeah, we're still trading in fear, even though indexes are near highs. Still bull case above the 21 EMA. We had news consumer sentiment came in lower than expected. Non-farm payrolls also came in softer than expected at 143,000 versus 155,000. Unemployment rate also came in lower than expected, 4% versus 4.1%. So those are kind of contradictory. Unemployment is showing labor market stays robust, but we did create less jobs than expected. So really wasn't nothing burger news this morning, but consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. sent the market trending lower, and then Trump tariffs sent another leg, where it initiated another leg lower in the afternoon. Earnings, we'll talk about earnings. The major ones were Amazon, Affirm, Pins, Elf, Expedia, Fortinet, Cloudflare, and we'll definitely go over some charts. Today's keys, watching S&P versus 21 and 50. We stayed above both. Qs 21 and 50 stayed above both, but Russell below the 21 and the 50. Day count, 14 days of consolidation to 15 days of consolidation. 4 days above the 8 EMA, 4 days above the 21 EMA. So our expectations are still positive. Action, we pretty much opened green, rallied a bit to 6,100, sold off on consumer sentiment, rallied in the afternoon, and then sold off on Trump tariffs. The strong sectors today were bond yields, and therefore bond prices were down. Dollar, China, uranium. On the downside, 7 out of 7 S&P sectors were red. Bitcoin, home builders with rising rates, biotech with rising rates, and semis as well. Today we trimmed 1/2 Bitcoin and added some Kava, 1.39 beta, 4.69% open heat. And bottom line is poor consumer sentiment and tariff uncertainty led to another Friday reversal. All right, so let's talk about some major earnings. Let's start off with Amazon. And this one did not have the greatest of reactions. You can see it was down 4% on the day. Pretty much they beat by 37 cents. They reported operating income above guidance, but they guided Q1 revenues below consensus and expected AWS growth to be lumpy over the next few years. Affirm was one we picked up in TurboTection. Really great earnings here, actually. 245% earnings surprise on 145% year over year. That's just amazing. And then 47% earnings growth. Sequentially, they're really growing their revenues quite nicely. And then this is really the first profitable quarter Affirm has seen. So RSI new highs with price, new 52-week highs. This is a great earnings reaction. DOCS raised guidance, beat on earnings and revenues as well, gapped up the new 52-week highs. RS confirms as well, and nice top and bottom line numbers. Pinterest, they missed by 8 cents, beat on revenues, and guided Q1 revenues above consensus. They also had a nice reaction. Expedia, beat by 30 cents, beat on revenues, booked room nights grew 12%. And this also gapped up into a new 52-week high as well, with RS line confirming. Lou also beat, not the greatest earnings, Seems like more of a one-off thing, but their revenues are up 46%, and clearly the market loves it. This is a nuclear theme, which also ignited OKLO to continue higher, LTBR, and then some SMR decent action as well, and NME flagging here. And then finally, Take-Two Interactive releasing GTA 6, also capped up in the new 52-week highs. Great action today on this earnings as well with RS line into new highs. So that's it for the earnings basket. We'll go over the 21 over 21 list now. And let's just go over the whole list from top to bottom. Up most on the day was HIMS up 5.1%. This continues to break out this cup and trending nicely. Earnings in 17 days, triple digits in the last 4 quarters in earnings, mid to high double-digit revenues. So great growth there from HIMS. Robinhood breaks out this base here and continues to just trend nicely above the 8 and 21. Not too much to talk about here. Triple digits in the last 4 quarters, double-digit revenue growth, high gross margins as well. They're really expanding their product line and the services they offer. They have earnings in 5 days, 99 RS, extremely strong. Reddit, another leader that acted extremely well, 99 RS line new high, price new all-time high as well. Earnings in 5 days in this name as well. Last quarter, they had a huge beat, so let's see if they can do it again. TKO up 3.2%, new 52-week high. Yeah, triple-digit earnings in the last 2 quarters, triple-digit revenues last quarter, 2 quarters ago, and 52% in sales last quarter, earnings in 19 days. IBKR continues to trend nicely above the 8 EMA. CYBR, small update up 0.39%, reversed off highs, earnings in 6 days. Zillow is pretty much flat, still trading near 52-week highs out of this cup with handle. SE, barely up, is up 0.28%, trying to break out this handle, this high handle, but reversed so far. Palantir was down a bit. Post earnings, it drifted lower and then exploded up, and so far we reversed today's move. DoorDash, reversal still above the 8 EMA. EQT started leaking off, still holding the 21 EMA. AEM rejected Livermore 100, but trending nicely well above the 8 EMA. That's a gold name. CEG, we own this one, still trending above the 8 EMA. And we'll see what happens here. We still have this unfilled gap that needs to fill. And the longer it takes to fill, I don't know why this isn't working. The longer this takes to fill, the weaker I would deem the price action. HWM continues to trend above the 8 EMA. Twilio, same thing. Post pre-release, trending above the 8 EMA. Earnings in 6 days. Snowflake continues to bail out this handle. Still can't get above the 186.9 level. APP reverses off the highs of the day, but still trending above the 8 EMA. Earnings in 5 days. Bros accelerates yesterday, but reverses today, still well above the 8 EMA. Earnings in 12 days. Team gaps out of the base on earnings. It just continues to chuck along nicely, well above the 8 EMA. Kava reversal down into the 8 EMA, which now has bullishly aligned moving averages from 821 and 50. So this looks like it could bill out a handle and potentially see higher prices. CLS, great bounce back, snapback bounce, and still trending above the 8 EMA. There's a lot of volatility in this one, so I think it needs to calm down before we can get interested in this name. We'll go over a few mega caps. NVIDIA rallies, reclaims the 208, but running into the declining 21 and declining 50 on contracting volume. So this still doesn't look that great, but institutions are trying to defend it under the 200. Microsoft still looks quite poor. Breaks kind of this mini bear flag off the 8 EMA, but still holds its 410 level. Really, until 400 breaks, Microsoft won't be in too much trouble. On the flip side, Meta is extremely strong, literally up like 15 days in a row. Reverses off today, but still green. Just absolute wall of blue accumulation by institutions. Pretty extraordinary move from this mega cap. Honestly, quite quite rare to see this type of accumulation in any mega cap, especially a mega cap that's worth $1 trillion or more in market cap. So we'll look at Google real quick, which also got knocked on earnings. Netflix stays strong. Tesla continues to leak off, bearish engulfing. This 360 level needs to hold the previous breakout level. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap it up for the last video of this week. Let's go back to this page. As always, if you're interested in what we do at Revere, and or if you have any questions, you can email me at ted@revereasset.com. I'm still trying to get my Twitter back, Ted H. Zhang. My phone is 855 Real Wealth. That is 855-732-5932. And if you know, actually, by the way, if you know any ex-employees, please let me know. Email me. I've filed multiple reports and their support is nearly non-existent. All right. Anyways, our website is revereasset.com and our YouTube is Revere Asset. With that being said, this is Ted Zhang, portfolio manager at Revere Asset Management, telling it like it is. Thank you for listening and have a great rest of your week. And happy Super Bowl for those who watch and pay attention to football.